Yeah, you know, introduce you to Rabbi. No.
What do you want us to say?
Now,
He
where
said
do you, right there, if that's good for you, wonderful.
I know.
Sometimes we even have scooted, is that a word? Scooted this back a little.
No, this way because we still have it.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll sit right next to the window there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you do all that.
Is it the mood? Is it my age? That was the... Yeah.
Go in. Yeah.
Oh, I already sent
So, yeah.
Scissoring this way, right?
They have them up there? Some said
Hi. Good. How are you?
not great.
Shabbat shalom.
Just a chord progression. In any I don't You said mandolin. Oh, really? More on the Okay, mandolin. It's not a use. It's a friendly audience. I don't think you decline the mandolin. Mandolin is really pretty.
Right here tonight. Did you have a chance to meet Jamie and Israel? Here's Jamie and here's Israel. Rabbi Appel. Oh, all right. Here we are. This morning, Friday night, how we again, Shabbat morning service. Lots of singing.
They're saying? I'm not even. But my father was.
That's kind of how things rolled out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's crazy.
My mom is a
Different buses. Everybody's taking a different bus.
But we're all going to the same place. Yeah. No, it is. It truly is. Yeah. So, on the 14th, Friday, wait, not, it is next, Friday's 14th, next week?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever next Friday is, we're doing a welcoming for Rabbi Appel. She's our interim rabbi for a year, and we're going to have a great dinner catered after service. May I ask you to be my guest? Does that work for you next Friday?
So it's Friday the 16th.
Friday the 16th.
Yeah.
Okay, bring Oliver. Now, does Oliver have a friend?
No, he's coming over to see that sign.
Okay, because we have an Oliver who has a friend, and that's why I was asking, and he likes to go by only Oliver. That's why I just went, okay, 3 of us. So Oliver, okay. Jeez, Diane. All right, you're on.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Rabbi Appel.
Sandy.
Hi, Elise, nice to meet you. So what I have are names of people that have died in the last 11 months. And then other names I invite people to say out loud.
All right. Thank you. Yeah,
Because that's
and
what I was
Eddie
told.
and Isabel usually create these meals. Yeah,
Amazing.
so delicious. Yeah.
A lot of certifications.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Welcome.
They all are here.
Little smoke in Boise.
You remind me so much of my
That's the
cousin
sad
Doris.
part.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sense of humor, it's just like, go for it. He was
So,
in
things
Afghanistan.
done? Yes.
Lots happened there for him.
Sorry, down there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, and that kind of thing takes a while.
And then I think,
Figure out something, yes, so those maybe.
Father actually died the same month,
Oh my goodness.
You guys do live as well?
pardon?
You guys do
Oh,
live?
yes, yes.
Sure, you go.
And, you know, I watched their.
So Rabbi, there's water.
I saw.
But I haven't been.
Okay. When you pre-pour I'm like, huh, is that what it is?
It's that person, I know, yeah.
And then I skipped.
Yeah, it's downstairs.
How do you like them? We have a couple of people here that live here. Oh, that is your Okay. Show me There's peace in
We have chickens now. It's nice. It's from a little farm. Yeah. So we're center and just trying to grow our food. That way we know it's not like harmful to us.
We have James Bob and his family live in Ontario. We have Sharon Dixon. You know the whole family.
I didn't know.
Cindy, this is Mike.
Years, 3 years ago. And I couldn't find it anymore.
Oh,
I have shades. Well, not the one that has lalas at the front, but yeah. I'm sorry.
It's nice to.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm done. Because that's how I was able to, I spent some time today recording last week's music.
Right?
Big city, so this is very very
Then, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I have this week in my purse and a little, do you? Okay, excellent. Let me just write that down. My
Some of
name
them, the website is
so
great.
that you've got that, because Roy is gonna leave for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's not.
And I just don't wanna miss that.
It's J license. And so that's the website that licenses the music for us. And they pay the royalties.
I kept it.
Good. I'm glad. Which is the best email to send it to?
Well, the outlet is Reddit, but a lot of them are bloggers.
So Safari, a lot of families came out of Spain.
So I think with 4 of us sitting there, you should be able to do it as a friend. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but we should probably set up some time to practice.
I do. Okay, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Batsheva Appel, interim rabbi here at Congregation Ahavat Beth Israel, also known as CABI. And welcome to everybody who's joining us in our sanctuary and everybody who's joining us virtually online. We're delighted to have you here. We're going to begin tonight in this prayer book, which is Mishkan Tefillah. It's blue. You can get it as you walk into the sanctuary, and this is readily available. It's also available as a Kindle book if you are joining us online. We are a very diverse community that encompasses a range of backgrounds and experiences. When I invite you to please stand, please do so as you are able and comfortable in doing so. And if you find the need to be seated, please be seated. Thank you to our musicians tonight, which my understanding is going to include Sandy Barrenter and Janet Kaufman. Thank you to Eddie, who started up our virtual congregation and does so much else for us within the walls of this space. Thank you so much. And we're going to begin by singing Ki Yishmeras Shabbat on page 129 in the Mishkan Tefillah prayer book.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So I started this practice during the pandemic, and I realized once we got back into sitting in the sanctuary ourselves, it was still really important because of how many times we have a tendency to kind of skid into Shabbat. We've been going and going and going and doing and doing and doing, and we get here and we sit and it's just, transitions are hard. I know this as an expert in change and transition. So it's as important for those who are joining us virtually as for those of us who are in person. And what you're going to be invited to do is to set your intention for Shabbat. To do that, I'm going to invite you to uncross your legs, uncross your arms, put them in a comfortable space for you. I'm going to invite you to sit up straight, because all of those adults who admonished you to sit up straight when you were a kid, sadly they were correct. You breathe more easily when you sit up straight as you're able to do. And then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, but you don't have to do that yet. You're going to set your intention for this Shabbat with 3 deep breaths. 3 is the number of intention. Your intention can be just to make that transition into Shabbat. Your intention can be to put down those lists for at least Shabbat. Your intention can be to be with friends and family and community. Your intention can be just to experience the holiness of Shabbat. It's up to you to set your intention. So I invite you now to close your eyes if you're comfortable in doing so, and take 3 deep breaths and set that intention. We continue in Mishkan Tefillah on page 124, in the middle of the page together. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We continue in the middle of page 131 with an excerpt from Psalm 96. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth sing a new song to God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. We continue on page 138 with the singing of Lecha Dodi, and I think you have specific instructions for us.
We sing every other verse, beginning with the first verse rather than the chorus, as in other versions of the Kabbalat. Shalom, Shalom, Dibur, Echad, Ishvianu, Elam, Echad. Adonai Echad, U'Shemot Echad, L'Shem U'Tiferet L'Elokim, Lecha Dodi, Lekatala, Shah.
seated. Please join me in reading a selection from Psalm 93 in the English, the middle of page 141. Adonai is sovereign, God is robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed, God is girded with strength. The world stands firm, it cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from of old. From eternity you have existed. The ocean sounds Adonai, the ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea, is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all time. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 263. Page 263. Yikdal v'yikadash shemei rabban, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamnich malchutei, v'chayeh orum yom mechon, u'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, ha'gala u'bizman karim, v'yimeru Shmei Rabba Mevorah, Le'olam Omen Almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shmei Kudsha B'rechu, Le'elam Mikol Birchata, V'shirata, Tush B'chata Amen. Please rise, Baruchu, page 264. Please be seated. Please join me in the English at the bottom of page 265. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'Arahim, Ahavat Olam Yomam Valayla Ve'abatka Al Tasir Mimenu Leolamim Baruch Ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please stand for the Shema on page 267.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Please read together with me in the indent on page 268. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue page 269 responsively by indentation in the English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness includes our breaths, as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart. There is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Page 270. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 271. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We continue with the Amidah, the standing prayer that begins on page 273. Invite all those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise, and we will continue together for the initial piece of it, and then there will be time for you to have your own prayers, your own thoughts, whatever your heart prompts. If your attitude of prayer at that point in time is to stand, please remain standing. If your attitude of prayer is to be seated at that time, please be seated, and then we will come back together. So between pages 279 to page 285, we're going to have individual prayer. Page 273 right now. Adonai sefatati tabu v'ya itehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalalu b'selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 278 in the middle, together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill His promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 285. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai, my rock and redeemer. Amen. We offer thanks now for all the gifts and blessings that we enjoy, for our celebrations and our simchas. I'd like to invite anyone in the congregation who is celebrating or who has something that they are especially grateful for to share their joy and thanksgiving with the community. So it can be anything big or small, it's up to you, but we would appreciate if you would share those things that you're grateful for on this Shabbat. Yes?
I had a diagnostic test done and I don't have cancer again.
I would say that that's really pretty amazing, having a diagnostic test and not having cancer again. That would be in the big category. Yes, yes.
This is in the small but tall category. My son, who's 13, grew 5.5 inches this last year.
Nice.
And he just got a place on this very special basketball team.
Lovely. Maybe enjoy all of it. That's a lot of growth in a single year. That's pretty amazing. Yes.
So in our family, our cousin Barry Preminger got to go home. He's there celebrating Shabbat this evening. at home.
There we go. Okay, yes?
My sister Bonnie is visiting from Los Angeles.
There you go. And you are finishing wrapping things up. So the two of you are working together. That's really kind of nice. Wonderful. Who else has something that they're grateful for? Yes?
As a harmonica player, I went to the Yellow Pine Harmonica Festival this last weekend, and I placed third in the contention.
Yes. Third place at a harmonica festival. I almost made it harmonica, but it's harmonica. Third place at the harmonica festival. That's in the category of big again.
That's it.
Wonderful. Okay. Who else has something? Yes.
Okay, this is sort of little, but I went to Lowe's yesterday and I'm a Lowe's pro because I'm a property manager. And I entered this stupid little contest and I actually won a pellet stove.
That's not a small thing either. So you won a contest. That sounds pretty cool. Yes.
It's the season of bounty harvest, so I've got to enjoy a lot of people saying, I have too much whatever harvest they have, and so we've been enjoying berries and plums and cucumbers, and it's a good season.
So you've been enjoying the produce of other people's gardens and work.
Oh, and we hauled in 19 cups of huckleberries.
19 cups of huckleberries? That's practically a flat of huckleberries. That's pretty amazing. Yes?
I'm feeling very thankful in a sort of negative sense, which is nobody in my family has died or had a near fatal accident.
You are not taking for granted the health and welfare of your family. Got it. Okay. Yes. Yes.
I'm grateful for all the kindness that has been shown me, including at Sam's house, who took my cat in and took her collar off.
There you go. So you're thankful for all the kindness that you have received. That's wonderful. Anybody else?
My older kids are having a great time at Camp Carlson.
Okay, the older kids are having a great time at camp. That's not a small thing. Okay, anything else that people, yes?
First time here.
First time here, well, we're delighted to have you here.
Well, it's a great thing.
Welcome.
This week.
So, from first time here to the produce of the summer, to cousins being released from hospital and rehab, to people having a wonderful time at camp, to the delight of having your sibling come and visit, to amazing news, to growth in our children, and to kindness from the community, these are amazing things to be grateful for. For all these things, Eternal One, we say, Modim anachnu lach. We give thanks to you, source of all. May we go from strength to strength, and may we always offer our abundant thanks for your many blessings along the way. And let us say, Amen. Wonderful. We now think of those who are ailing or in care at this time. We ask for names of congregants and friends who are in need of healing. I'm going to ask for folks in the room, in the sanctuary, to share those names. Those of you who are joining us virtually, please be sure and say those names out loud now. Who has a name that they would like to share? Yes.
Richard Cordes.
Joanne Jenkins.
Harry Packer.
Harry Powson is the person.
Jane Foreman. Michael Unger.
Betty Wappel,
Norma Morgan.
Steve Robert.
Lori Wakeman, Ray Wakeman, and Natalie Peters. Jack Hill. Barbara Roswell. Sunny and Ivan.
Okay, to those names, did you have a name?
Arturo Gomez.
And Carmen Gomez.
Okay. To those names, I add Simon Rosenblatt, Sheila McLean, and Ginger Schulman. We pray for their healing of body, healing of spirit. To sing along, please turn to page 371 in your Siddur, page 371.
We share on
This week we begin with Moses speaking to all the people of Israel on the far side of the Jordan River. This is one of the few places that specify that he is speaking to everyone at the same time. Rashi, the medieval commentator, notes that Moses is about to admonish the people and suggests that the emphasis on all the people hearing his words is that so no one can say later, well, if I had been there, I would have refuted what Moses said. Moses begins by reminding the people of what has happened until this point. He tells them where they have been on their wanderings. He tells them where they went wrong. He speaks with them directly, retelling the details of the incident with the 12 scouts and how they had described a good land that the Eternal had given us. And we read in the text, yet you refused to go up and flouted the command of the Eternal your God. The result of this lack of faith is that a whole generation will die in the wilderness and will not cross into the promised land. But wait a moment. At the time that Moses is speaking about this incident with the spies, it's 38 years later. And these people to whom he is speaking are not the people who refused to go up to the land. The people standing on the far side of the Jordan are the children of those who lacked faith. Who is Moses addressing? Ellen Frankel in The Torah, a women's commentary, comments on how the narrative is shaped differently in the book of Deuteronomy. She says, unlike the previous 4 books of the Torah, which are narrated in the third person, Deuteronomy is narrated almost entirely in the first person. The I of Moses persistently addressing a you. In fact, the word you punctuates this parasha like a drumbeat, appearing more than 100 times in slightly more than 100 verses, plus many other instances if the imperative verb form is included. As Rabbi W. Gunther Plaut notes in his commentary about the verse I noted above, but in every case, instead of using them and they, Moses used you, addressing the new generation as if they had been the sinners, who must now be cautioned not to repeat the earlier transgression. This appears to be more than a stylistic peculiarity, even as the text changes frequently from plural to singular and back again, thus reflecting the close relation between individual and collective responsibility. So it views Israel's past and present as a single continuum. We are speaking of this continuum when we speak of the chain of Jewish tradition that links every generation together. All of Israel is listening to Moses, both those who are on the far side of the river and those who are not there. In the same vein, we will hear at the end of the book of Deuteronomy, not with you alone do I make this covenant and this oath, but both with those that stand here with us this day before the Eternal our God, and also with those that are not here with us this day. In each generation, we become part of this chain of Jewish tradition and part of this covenant with God. Rabbi Plaut continues in his commentary to our Torah portion, you are now the fathers and mothers of Israel, and in the future our people will identify with you as you do with your own forebears. Your responsibility is therefore not to yourselves alone. It is to the generations yet unborn who will be able to say, even as you do now, we stood at Sinai. Moses is giving the Israelites a heavy responsibility. The Israelites of this new generation have the responsibility to do better than their parents, to have faith in God, to do better for their children. This is not the only place where we speak of the timelessness of Jewish tradition. When we speak of the Exodus from Egypt, we tell a similar story. In the Mishnah, it states, In each and every generation, a person is obligated to regard themselves as though they actually left Egypt. As it says, you shall tell your child on that day, it is because of this that God took me out of Egypt. It doesn't matter that we are telling the story of events that happened millennia ago. It is our responsibility to tell the story in the first person, and by doing so, reinforcing our connection with the generations of Jews who came before us. This idea of one continuum of time is especially poignant as Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, approaches beginning Monday night. This day of fasting and prayer marks the destruction of the first and second temples and other tragedies for the Jewish people. It is another point of our story to be told in the first person. There is a legend about Napoleon Bonaparte. He was walking through the streets and heard Jews in a synagogue weeping and mourning. When he asked what had happened, he was told that Jerusalem had been destroyed. Napoleon asked if this had happened recently, and he was told that it had happened 1,800 years earlier. In amazement, he said that a people who had such a memory would surely return to their land. This tale speaks to our ability not only to retell our story as a people in a powerful way, but to tell our story as if we had lived it. As important as it is to tell our story and know our story, it is even more important to live our story. We become that link in the chain of Jewish tradition when we put ourselves into the history of our people and connect ourselves to other Jews in our own day. By being part of the story, we become, in the words of Rabbi Plaut, the fathers and mothers of Israel, and therefore a link to the future. We now begin to conclude our service. I invite you to turn to the Aleinu on page 586, and all those who are comfortable in doing so are invited to please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach v'ta'om hakol, v'tehidu v'yotzer hareshit, shelo asanu k'royei ha'asol, ve'lo osanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo osanu chalkeinu b'hem, ve'go rabbeinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachatim u'modim, lifnei melech malkei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591. V'ne'emar v'naya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please be seated. The bottom of page 595. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time, we think of all who have gone before us, those whom we remember and miss, those who we still mourn in the still silent places of our heart. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Pam Human. And we also recall today Joseph Stern, John Burnett, Shira Cronenberg, Harriet Barrenter, Maria Stern, Edward Levitch, Judith Tellman, David Thompson, Judith Gardner, Marion Holmes, Alan Salzberg, Linda Tell, who died in the past months. Are there others whose names you wish to mention? please do so now.
My aunt just died. I am Dorothy.
My mother is just seven. My mother Rosalie Byer, my father Martin Byer.
My father,
My aunt put that role.
My wife named Karen.
My mother, Maruja Wadesma.
Liz Gaston. My cousin Benjamin Randall.
For those who are joining us virtually, I invite you to say now the names of those you are remembering. And now I invite the mourners and all whose custom it is to do so to rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shnei rabba, v'alma v'yirah yutei yamlik malchutei. Chayikom v'yonikom, chayei beit Yisrael, b'agala u'bizman karev v'imru amen. Yehei Shnei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Homei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kedusha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Dam yiram be'alma v'yibru amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba min Shemayim. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'bromah, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yimru, amen. Please be seated. Are there any announcements tonight of congregational events? I know I've got some.
Maybe you go first, right?
Oh, okay, I'll go first. Monday night is Erev Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av. And we're going to gather in here and share poems, songs, and stories of lament. Okay, that will begin at 7 p.m. on Monday night. And also, something to note is that there is the first of the catered dinners of the year, and that resumes a week from tonight. So you will have a chance to register to attend that. I think that the theme is, what's the theme, Joanna?
Welcome, it's welcoming the rabbi.
I know, it felt weird for me to say that. Just felt weird. Okay, who else has announcements for the community? Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that it was aware. I appreciate all the adult ed emails that have gone out, but I'm really excited about it. We're doing a 3-part silk dyeing, make your own tally activity. Starting on the 18th, there's 3 parts to it because it's a process. If you can't make one of them, chat with me, we'll work it out. We always knew that no one's available for all 3. But I'm looking forward to having folks there. I know we got some signed up, but we got some more.
When is that?
Starts on the 18th, and then I'm gonna go out and say the 25th, and then not until after Labor Day is probably the last one,
So September 1st is not the last day, because September 1st is Idaho's Jewish Festival.
That is correct.
Idaho's Jewish Festival, I'm sorry, preempts, my
Yes.
apologies.
Are we gonna have corned beef or is it, are we moving?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, the people to ask about food stuff are right behind you. Yes, Roy.
Public service announcement, the long-awaited installation of our solar panels starts on Wednesday. And so it's a 5-day process, but before the Jewish Festival and all these other great activities, we will have solar panels at Cabot.
Sounds great. So I know that we have some guests tonight, and I think we also have some people who claim it's their first time ever being here. And if you would like to introduce yourself, let me know, but if you don't, that's fine. We will introduce ourselves at the Oneg Shabbat afterwards. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I'm Jamie Barrett. I just escaped from Portland, and I now live in Ontario. This is my partner, Izzy. at Gomez, and we're starting new projects out there.
Wonderful. Welcome. Anybody else? Okay. Again, everybody is, got tangled up there for a moment. So we're going to sing one more song, which is going to be a Don't Alone on page 625. I wanted to say thank you to the musicians again, which include Sandy Barringer and Janet Kaufman, and I'm going to really try on this one, Brad Wolf. Pulled that one out of the air. And, you know, linger just a little bit in here. It's cool, it's delightful. Put your books back, say hi to everybody, et cetera, because we're going to wait until we reconstitute everybody who's in this room over there where we're doing the Oneg Shabbat, and it takes a while. That elevator's very, very slow, and I wanted us to have time for everybody who's in the room now to join us for Kiddush and Motzi over there. So just understand, it's not going to be quick.
Thank you.
Israel, it's really nice to meet you.
The IRS calls me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the door for you.
Somebody said that nationally, important to
Was everyone well and happy? Well, he's saying.
Well, it was pretty good. I had a few, I wanted to so I was trying to keep from there. But not this year, one of you, last year, or this year, one of you. Do you know what? What'd you make with it?
Okay.
So say hi
I will. Yeah.
That was great. Thank
Well,
you.
if he, I will call him, but do you need any help with that? Like, I know you're a good, I know you're 1,000% sure, but is there anything that's fallen down because you're not able to get up with your over there? Because I, you know, we can.
She's here, so, and I think it's gonna be. Oh, yeah.
So they would have to.
I haven't gone through it.
Your attention,
So if I stay home, you'll
so many of us.
Yeah, because you know, my office is right across from the window. So we know lots and lots. So if there's ever anything that's like, Dan, I'm not gonna make the market, I call like Jimmy's Farm, Jimmy's Plants, whatever you need, I'm just right there on Saturday. So, you know, if there's anything to make your amazing, your altar giving life, if I can fulfill your altar giving life, I would, you know, just let me know.
Really?
All right, well, so we'll start there with the call.
I'll start with
and then-
McCall.
Oh, yeah.
From the sea.
Are you going?
We're getting there, we're gonna get there
I love
slowly.
this. I know.
We're in no rush.
I just need the neckline, it has that sort of neckline otherwise.
You know, you two and Rabbi Joel are on this big people on the planet. There is
Charles
something.
wins.
Yeah,
Charles wins.
Charles